Good evening, good evening. My name is Irma J. I'm here to give you a word on tonight. I know it was yesterday, but I have difficult with the equipment. So I will not forget about the Lord. I will be careful to follow every command and instruction that God will give me today. Now I will live and receive the promise that has to offer to me. So God had planned for my life. The Lord will come to you and fulfill my good promise to bring you back to the place. For I know the plans I have for you, declared the Lord. It's a plan to prosper you and not to harm you. So God plan always was to guide us and not to harm us, but it always something. The devil gonna always attack, and feel like it's harming us all kind of ways because we fighting to trying to get our way through. But the plan is to give us hope in the future. Many times God will allow us to be in a storm, to test our faith and to see how we are faithful to Him. So in our storm, He will see if we really, gonna call out to Him. Or we just gonna get mad and not follow through or just throw in the towel. So I did, called out and committed to His command. And that's the main thing. No matter how difficult your storm is, you still have to commit to the command. So I will not forget about the Lord in my isolation that I am in now. So God is my sanctuary in my storm. So when I was hungry, He made sure I eat. He provide water, in my dry place. He made sure like He did the Israelite. And we have to the small things we have to recognize. Because see, the Israelite, they didn't realize, their clothes didn't wear out, their foot didn't split out. All them things they had to wander around for 40 years, God kept it intact. So what God do for me, like my makeup, never run dry. And a lot of other things I noticed, it's still keeping up, still being gone, ongoing. So just the presence of God alone make a difference in our lives. Just like Joe said. Joe said, when God said, I was with you through your suffering, He said that made all the difference in the world to Joe. And that was all he needed. So I thank God for His grace and for being alive. So the wicked lie, different songs 37, 32, 33. The Lord wait. The Lord lie in wait for the righteous, putting them to death. But the Lord will not lead them in their power, you know, of the wicked and let them be condemned and brought to trial. So I will never forget about the Lord among all the chaos. Because see, all the chaos that you go through, and you still survive the next day. That's a blessing. That's enough to say thank you, God. So I will never forget how God make a way out of no way. Everything being chaos and you don't know how this gonna get done. We be all, worrying. But God is a way maker. He make things happen out of no way. So that's why God said appreciate the small things first before He give you the big things. So right now the devil having it look like I'm never gonna get there. Never gonna get to my promise. But I have faith no matter what it look like, I don't never stop. Yeah, I don't quit. I just keep on going and keep pressing my way through because the devil always fix it like that's no way out of this. You ain't gonna never get blessed. You're not going nowhere. And sometime if you have a weak mind, you'll just stop. You'll think that's how it is. So in Nehemiah book, the Lord know the devil, will put little bits of everything in our path. So God knows this oops and up that's gonna happen on our path. So God on his end, He be prepared for it. But we don't. The Lord know all things from the beginning. Wherefore He prepare a way, to accomplish, all His work. among the children of men. For behold, he had all power unto fulfilling of his word. Now, no matter how your own journey is, God made a plan out not to harm us but to prosper us. And even though it's in chaos and don't look like, you're not gonna get nowhere, but God always gonna accomplish all his work. And he gonna make sure it's a fulfilling of all his plans that he has set before us. So God will accomplish all his work he have planned for me, because we learn how God will put it together. But he is a God that's in order and gonna make sure our path is straight for us to continue on walking, because he already know the devil gonna try to screw it all up, and he always have a second plan. So all the power of God and his plan will be fulfilled. And I get my strength from God. So God is all you need, and the only one can deliver us. So I would never forget how God is faithful. God is never, forsake me, and never left my side, even though it feel that way sometimes. Sometimes God get quiet in your storm. That's the time you need him. With the chaos, that's when he get quiet. He want to test us and see how we gonna do. That's how Joe and all of them was. Joe and Joseph, he get quiet, but God still was watching over them the whole time. So I have a whole army, against me. Setting traps, black magic, even tried to set me on fire one time. That was a testimony, by overcome the trials and traps and everything that came along with it. So when I come out of this, the only person will get credit out of this here is God did it. I will never forget the Lord in my dry place. God kept me with food, with drinks, the small things, he was a sanctuary, So when the walls was caving in, I'm panicking, don't know how this and that gonna get done. I ran out of this, God was right there. God comfort and pulled me out of every situation. So we're going to look at Psalms 118. I was pushed back and about to fall, but the Lord helped me. The Lord is my strength and my defense, and he had become my sanctuary. He become my salvation. And the love of God made the difference in the world. See, the love of God, it make the difference in the world, with you, on your path. Because without God, just like the Israel said, in Psalm 124, God broke the snare of the enemy, and so I could never, be in a storm without God. You can't, because God don't want to fight your battle. It's God's storm, so thank God, I made it through, so I'm so glad that God have not left my side. I know God have, me covered. And when I come out, I will never forget what God did for me. I will follow, not my will, but God will. So that's all I have for you today. All the stuff that I'm going through, all the heartaches, pain I'm going through, just trying to, I'm being faithful to God, till that time comes, but you never forget about it once you come out of that storm, that horrible, hard storm that you've been placed in, so that's all I have for you today. I see y'all in the next video.